Bitcoin rise has anything to do with belief in the blockchain.
Okay.
It simply has to do
Ivan,
with belief
are you
in
sure?
cryptocurrencies.
Yep.
I mean, once you start using cryptocurrencies, whether it's Bitcoin or Monero or Litecoin, it doesn't really matter. You see the facilities, you see the ease of use. You see that without a central bank control, the value of that currency depends upon the users of that currency. And why is Bitcoin growing so fast? Because it's getting more users, more people.
Maybe another song that we have about Freeton.
What's up, guys? Al. Who's our DJ?
Ivan.
DJ Ivan spinning the, what is it? Spinning the vinyl or whatever it is. God, I'm getting old. Let's give everybody a few more minutes to pile in, yeah?
Yep. How's it run?
Good, man. How are you, DJ Ivan?
Hey guys, hi everybody.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, everybody.
Hola.
Hi, Cyril. And if I can ask, as always, if you can, please turn on your camera so it's nice and lively.
Finally.
What do we think? Are we at critical mass?
I think let's start.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, gals, everybody. Hi. Welcome to weekly update number 37. Thank you for being here as always. Today, we're going to have a bunch of really, really cool tech-related announcements and also an update to the goings-on in the web and design subgovernance. And of course, as always, we'll have Q&A after all the presentations. So let me sort of just get the formalities and general updates out of the way first. One, tokens went out last week to the Chinese subgovernance, to the African subgovernance, and to the African Blockchain Institute. They got their second round of tokens against a very strong KPI. And of course, last week and so far this week too, there were some pretty heated, jam-packed discussions in both the forum and in the chats. And I personally love it. It means we're growing. It means differences of opinion are growing right alongside. And that's exactly what it takes to progress. So there's a saying called motion creates emotion. So the more emotion, the further we get. All right. 2, we'll try very, very hard to send payments out this week. And by the way, that will include new validator vestings, finally. So yes, you'll be getting your first vestings very soon. And also, same goes for the first members. Those will go out right alongside. And I apologize for the holdup in December. As you know, we needed to collect all of the new addendums to the declaration, which we have now. All of the first members will need to sign those on chain. That should be ready today or tomorrow, I hope. Hopefully today. We'll see. And I'll let everybody know when it's ready to be signed, and then you can do that. And for everyone else who may not be aware, this also means that the first members are going to be signing their ongoing commitments on chain, which will be public. It'll be publicly available. So yeah. Let's see. Number 3, the rebuttal contest to the MIT paper was extended until January 27th, I believe. So if you wanted to make a submission, but we're running out of time, now's your chance. This is a really, really strong PR-worthy contest that challenges what the paper argues, which is the supposed premise that the blockchain is not a suitable alternative to paper ballots. I think we have enough brilliant minds in Freeton to make the authors of that document at least maybe flinch a little bit. So please go contribute to that contest, make a submission. Big shout out goes to the Government Blockchain Association who helped draft it, and also to our very own Eugene Morozov. So there you go. What else? I think what I'm going to do is kind of leave more of the non-technical stuff for the end of the call, because we have a lot to get through, and in the interest and spirit of trying to keep this under an hour, I want to move on to today's primary topics, which are really, really, really awesome. I'm very excited. So first is DeBots, finally. DeBots, and a DeBot consortium. And prepare yourselves for the Freeton World Rust Cup. And having said that, I think I'm going to let Mitja raise the roof on this one. What do you think, Mitja? You want to take it away?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. So this is really brief about the DeBots, but let me share my screen. We have started this repository, which is DeBot Interface Specification Consortium, or interface, or is consortium. You're welcome to join. Basically, this is a standard kind of repository for standards around DeBots, DeBot interfaces. Oh, what does it mean? It means that when you want something from an outside world passed into DeBot, you need a DeBot browser supporting this as an interface. So for example, user key, you want user to sign something, and the key is held by the browser. So and maybe there are several of these keys that browser manages for the user. There may be a hardware wallet, which is one of these keys. So the interface for that would be something like this. So for example, there is a security card. And there are 3 proposals already made by us. So there is a security management, like a security card interface. And, and this basically the proposal for the interface. Then we discuss that here. And then if accepted, it goes into the standard. And that means that every browser, everyone who wants to make a DeBot browser will have to support, or it's advisable to support these interfaces, because DeBots and DeBot developers will expect these interfaces to be supported. And that's more or less like a VC, the 3C standard body for the web, for example. And it goes exactly like that. Basically, you have a consortium, which is a standard body for something that you want browser to support. So you are welcome to submit your own. There is a README. Please read it because it explains what you need to include in the interfaces. We both need to support both Solidity and C++, and you should create examples of both and so on. But basically, it's quite easy, and I hope that whoever is, I know there is a team, at least one team, who is creating the DeBot browser. So and Surf, of course, is the main DeBot browser, which is also of course supporting this initiative. So bottom line, everyone who wants to create a browser, please come to the consortium. And first, of course, you'll need to implement these standard interfaces for DeBots as a good practice, and also please contribute. So this is first thing. And if you'll have any questions, just shoot me afterwards. And let's switch to the other topic, which is this one. So
That's cool.
yeah, the proposal hopefully will be published hopefully today on the forum. It's a Freeton Rust Cup, and it's an endurance race. And I will briefly explain like how it's gonna work. The main idea is, of course, the Validator competition, as with Magister Ludi, but the difference this time will be that it will be an endurance race competition, meaning that it will start from hopefully 1st of February and will last for a month approximately. It will be one network, and it will be like in the last Validator competition. It will be basically based on slashing, but the slashing this time will not be simulated. It will be actually implemented inside the nodes. So Rust node will support slashing mechanism, and elector contract, which supports slashing written in Solidity, is deployed on Rustnet right now and will be used in the competition. It will be a little bit tuned because, so just for the competition purposes as last time. So, because on the main network, the slashing condition will be relaxed a little, meaning that it's not, will probably not will be punished if you just missed a few, blocks. But for the competition purposes, in order to kind of really create a leading board, we of course need, to distinguish between the validator performance more. And so the slashing condition will be tuned towards performance metrics more. If something goes wrong, the network will be just simply, if the network stalls, for example, because the idea is that we will try to break, the records. And if something goes wrong, then the network will be simply just restarted. And the balances that you will receive, all the balances will be in the log stake. So we will be sending balances to the dpools, and you will receive the balances you ended up with at the, before the network stopped. So it will be like an endurance race where there restarts, yellow flags, and all that stuff. I mean, hopefully it won't be restarts, but let's see. We will unbolt basically the limitations we have put on the C++ node networks. So the limits on the blocks will be risen significantly, and we will try to to really see how it goes on the edges. Now, you should there is a, as I said before, the Rustnet is heavily parallelized. So unlike in last competition, the cheap nodes won't do. It will require a lot of cores if you want to stay in the competition. So it requires serious effort, this time even more than in Magister Ludi. Now, think about prices. I think that's what's interesting everyone. It will be very different from the last time. And the price basically, like the structure, and you will see the table, which won't be published today, maybe a little closer to the end of the week. But the idea is to encourage not only the validation, because we have already quite a lot of validators on the network, is to encourage actual investment in the Freeton ecosystem, and which will bring it closer to what you have in other networks, where basically the validators are pulling tokens from investors into their validation nodes, except for this is totally decentralized, of course, the pools. And the idea is there will be some sort of subsidy like in lock stake, but this subsidy won't be enough to validate. There will be another subsidy which subsidizes the external depool participants. So everyone who wants to stake in the depool of the Rust Cup winners, the giver, a referral giver, will send on top of every such stake, will send a vesting stake, and the vesting stake will subsidize additionally rewards for this participant.
The referral giver?
The referral giver, of course, because it's a referral program in a way. And the amount of subsidy will depend on the amount of stake locks. So if someone not just need to put a stake in the depool, but it need to lock its stake to itself, and the subsequent modifications has been done to depool contract, which will be published, I think, tomorrow or after tomorrow, the final version. So you can lock stake to yourself. So if a participant will lock stake himself to a period of 3, 6, 9, and up to 48 months, then for more he locks or she locks, the more reward will be added on top of the reward, which will bring that significantly higher than today's 8% per annum reward. So it will be very profitable to stake in these depools with the lock stakes. On top of that, the validator will also, of this depool, meaning the Rust Cup winner, will receive additional referral reward. Referral reward on top of every reward that has been given to his participant. So it's profitable to both the investors and the validators. And I hope you like that. And I think that's that achieves the main goal, or the next main goal of the network is bringing the tokens into usage and people to use the tokens. So so that's more or less it, I think. If you have more questions, happy to answer that.
Cool. Interesting. All right. Thank you, Mitja. Okay, let's move on now regarding the long discussed threads about the web and design subgovernance. From what I understand, changes are on the way, and a few changes have already been made. Some really important updates. So I'm going to let Nikita, please come on down.
Hi, everybody. First of all, actually, I would like to talk just some facts about what happened in December about the contest. Just some numbers without any connection to our recent events. We had two contests: the video explanation contest and the New Year greeting card contest. We had in the first contest, we had 86 submissions. In the second contest, we had 276 submissions. And actually, that raises the questions about the tool for voting, and actually very, very important for us because we actually learned the lesson. And I think maybe it will be useful for any other subgovernance that the contests where there could be a lot of submissions, there could be actually a critical mass of submissions that will be actually impossible to review by the judges. So maybe in the future, if we'll have any contests like that, we will do something that maybe more complex contests or stuff like that, because the greeting cards was very, very, overwhelming. Okay, so just some numbers for you to understand what's happening. And after that, you know that on the forum there was actually a wave of members that were not happy with some of the judges in the first contest. There were some amount of people that were unhappy with the judges in the second contest. A lot of judges weren't happy, so there was an initiative to remove some judges, and actually that led to the situation where the subgovernance couldn't come to a consensus how to operate. But I think we did a good job of actually coming to an agreement that the subgovernance in this form that we had now, is actually cannot function this way, and would be the fairest and the most the most fair and transparent way to operate is to return all tokens to the giver, all remaining tokens, and actually all remaining tokens is exactly 2,555,000 tokens. Or a little bit more than 2.5 million tokens. We decided it would be fair to return the tokens to the giver because the community was unhappy how these tokens were distributed and how the winners of the contest, treated their tokens. So we returned the tokens actually today. It was 2 hours ago. We returned the tokens, and we passed a proposal to dismiss all the community members and start a process of restarting the subgovernance in a way that the community will be happy. I posted this topic on the forum, and the support of this decision was overwhelming. Everybody said that that's actually the way to go. That means that we as a community learn from our mistakes. So the first step is done. The tokens were returned. The second step is done. All the members are dismissed. So we have now to maybe figure out a roadmap how we will act in the next couple of months. And if we understand that we came to some consensus how the subgovernance should look like, how should it act, and what should it do, we can restart the subgovernance, because actually we have some prominent members in the community that are quite vocal and have very good ideas. So I think we'll continue discussion on the forum and in the chats. And actually, Ron, I wanted to tell you that I think it would be a good idea to create separate chats, a separate chat for Russian discussion and a separate chat for English discussion. I think it
Yeah.
would be great because again, I totally support you. You see in the chat to keep
Yeah.
the discussion in English, but
I
when it's
know, it's
already
impossible.
200 members, it's impossible because new members come, ask questions, people answer them, and all the kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
that
we'll
makes
have,
total sense. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So that means that we'll continue the discussion in the forum. I also wanted to say that there are also active members of the community that still want to bring value, especially to the value of the website, and we'll be, I think, launching the website from the beta to the to the main website very soon. Just because an initiative group of members really want to make it happen. So the people that want to work still will work, and the people that want to argue will still argue, and we will in parallel keep the discussion in the forum and in the chat. So we hope that this is a sign that we're actually already past the toddler state as a community. Now we're a teenager. Maybe soon we'll act like adults. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was a very adult move. Not only adult, but it was very honorable. I think it sets a great precedent. That's extremely admirable. And I, for one, am not in favor of disbanding the web and design subgovernance, because it's not the subgovernance in and of itself. It's just certain members. And this is a very good example of how something can adjust itself. It's it's a learning process, right? So we learned a lesson, right? And now why disband? Adjust, readjust, reform. Reform is the right word, right? I mean, I don't want to sound political or anything, but I mean, that's really what it's about.
Yeah. Actually, that's the word that I use in the proposal, reform. So yes, so we don't want to destroy. We want to evaluate. We want evolution. We don't want destruction.
Absolutely, and then make a new proposal with a new roadmap, and we go from there. I think that's the way to go. But I really admire the fact that you guys actually took matters into your own hands and said, you know what, we're going to fix this. Got together and returned the money and said, let's try again. What else can I say? It's awesome. Thanks, Nikita. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Besides that, what do we have? Oh, okay. So I understand the Latvian community wanted to say a few words today. So Edgar, is it?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I'm Edgar. Yeah,
Edgar.
I wanted to give like a little memo about what we want to do here. Sure. Let me introduce myself. I'm Edgar. For past 2 years, I was working in social entrepreneurship, kind of organized volunteer work. With artists, we painted like 55 bus stops and 11 electricity distribution houses. Wait, I'll give you a sample.
Okay.
Like some of these, I don't know how you.
I can see it, but
kind of gave some chances. Okay, yeah, gave chances to people from the arts, to express themselves on the streets, like giving some added value to the city. I did it like asking some money from local government, from municipality, from EU funds, European Union funds, and made the budget, kept the things rolling, and suddenly it like became like a big boom. The picture you saw, last summer we made also an exhibition. Like we got media, like I was shown like several times on TV, and it was like something new, something fresh, what we can see in our cities. So about going about Ton. I think it was November. I found myself in translating articles in Wiki, so it was quite nice to see like how the structure works, how simple it is, because like when you work with governmental funds, you see like I spent about 3 months of doing like accounting and all those reports. But yeah, when I saw in Wiki, I saw that's really simple about taking few actions. You make those and you see yourself like things are going out. So yeah, like the sympathy to the free ton is like the sympathy of the decentralization is about, yeah, that you don't have like this bureaucracy at all. And so yeah, then I kind of found myself, I found Maris and Una, which are at the moment we're posting like for Latvian subgovernance articles. They were translating, they were posting like they were starting like to give some actions to make some magic happen here. So yeah, contact them. Like we had a talks. We live in the same neighborhood, by the way. What? Yep. So we continued, and I don't know. Maybe I have a chance to share my screen, like show you guys the proposal.
Feel free. Yeah, absolutely. Feel free.
If admin would allow me.
Yeah, Roman, can you give him rights?
Yeah, for sure. Try now.
So yeah, I do have a chance.
Yeah, I can see he gave you the rights. Yeah, you should be able to do it. There you go. All right, hang on.
Yeah, as Ron criticized us about, you know, like making.
I didn't criticize you. I critiqued you. There's a difference.
Yeah. Sorry for the wrong word, but yeah, it was good. It was good. I kind of enjoyed it. So yeah, so we reduced our budget, and yeah, like if we take a simple look about community and infrastructure development, it's about having the designers, having the I feel like in 3 months we can have like administrative resources about of 10 or 15 people that can like actively work translations and copywriting. This is like, like once again, to give some more content posted on social media. And web development, I have like 2 ideas. One of those would be like, okay, like having the same local website, like Estonians have like perfect one. They have like really beautiful one. So maybe we could just contact them and ask them for assistance. And another one is about how to get people to understand what is free ton, what is decentralization. And as I see, it could be done like easily, like making landing pages, like making, like for 15 years, I worked in marketing, like with CPA networks, with advertising on Facebook and Google. So yeah, like landing pages with sales funnels and giving them a chance, like with basic questions, like what is free ton, what is like first part, like explaining them what it is, and then giving them like tests with 4 different answers and collecting from them like emails, clicking the encouraging them to join Facebook group and encouraging them to join Telegram, and yeah, like for an exchange to give them like few coins, like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 coins. So yeah, like that's my plan about second website that can be given. Okay. Yeah, Latvian jurors and advisors. This is, yeah, as I understand, your system is kind of based on voting. Like it's really understandable. Partnerships, it's like more, we have like maybe 10 or 12 groups on Facebook, like it's just basically some bribing. So yeah, so can you just pin our post to the top, so yeah, people can see that they can join join our team and do some like micro works. Yeah, it's about social media and PR campaigns. So I planned like give a chance, same thing as I saw on Wiki. So if you do some translations, those also can be like work for designers as like infographics creation or video creation. And yeah, my plan is also to like basically what I see in all subgovernments, that you have like some stuff that works, some stuff that doesn't work, yeah, to gather people around to make this commune build. So yeah, what we want to do is collect the things that are working, yeah, like weekly meetups. I see that they work. They kind of do they do this added value. So yeah, at weekly meetups, we can like invite influencers from different communes, like to share the knowledge. And for me, like personally, it would be interesting to like from voice of return to talk to same influencers, but making like interviews like cozy with tea drinking and talk to same officials, like for example, Minister of Economy. I don't know, maybe it would be possible, maybe not. But asking him, hey, dear Minister of Economy, what you think about decentralization, when it might become like a part of when it might become a part of Latvian constitution, or for example, when free tone will become a digital currency of Latvia, like. So just having fun at the same time, you kind of give practice of learning to people that don't understand a thing about what is trading, like what is trading, how to participate in those, what is decentralization, what is blockchain, and like from those videos to make like warm interviews. And so the people that I will interview, they will kind of explain it. And yeah, you mentioned, you made a quite good mention about how the topic about how many Latvian speakers and Russian speakers are in Latvia. So yeah, kind of I checked online what we're having, like run through all the forums, run through all the Facebook groups that we are having. Telegram isn't popular. Like I saw that the biggest crypto group, it's like divided mostly like crypto enthusiasts and digital enthusiasts. Yeah, it has like only more than 100, but at the same time, same WhatsApp, what they're doing with the privacy policy, I think they will lose their kind of clients, users. And some people like slowly will start to use Telegram. So this is, as I see, this is kind of part of an opportunity. So yeah, as I calculated, those might be like 4,000 to 5,000 people that already are like understand what is blockchain, that do know what is cryptocurrencies. And basically my plan is to, like, from those 5,000 to in 3 months to at least catch up in different ways, maybe 1,000. So this would be good. And yeah, but I really want to check this out to find myself collecting this commune. And I understand that the Russians, kind of Russian speaking, like speakers all over the world, are maybe like more than 200 million. So at the moment, I see myself realizing my plans from town community in Latvia. I see it as a sandbox, as a chance for some opportunities to do. And later on, when the Russian subgov will be made, definitely it will be made. Yeah, just to bring the good practice of marketing, of the ideas that we realized here, and just to check them, and yeah, and realize in Russian speaking world. So basically, and yes, like in the same proposal, yeah, just give a chance for the fun of the ideas, like let the new members that come to stay creative, like, hey, what ideas you got, like how we can gain like more people here, how you see yourself, what strategies might help to make more ton wallets, so Surfton wallets created, or maybe how you see that, how we can get and manage more investors to buy some crystals. So basically that's it. Yeah, basically.
Okay, man. Well, hey, all right. I really appreciate your enthusiasm. You seem very active. You seem very gung ho. I like that. So maybe let me just very quickly try to explain my critique. Right, this was my personal sort of thing. Is that it's not about I don't think anybody questions your enthusiasm, especially now that I've got to see you in action, right?
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, I think that maybe the premise of what a subgovernance is might be sort of slipping by you a little bit. A subgovernance is not necessarily a country group, okay? A subgovernance is a group of active people working towards a specific goal to do something. I've said this many times, and I don't want to be repetitive, but it's like if you have a community and you have somebody that grows vegetables and they're really good at growing vegetables and that's what they do, or you have somebody else who's really good at hunting, and I don't want to go back to the hunter and gatherer thing, but basically everybody sort of has their own speciality that they excel in. And because of that, all the hunters sort of get together and say, all right, we want to have a hunting subgovernance. We want to have a vegetable gathering and a fruit gathering subgovernance, whatever, right? So that the community works together, right? That's a subgovernance. It has nothing to do specifically with countries. The reason that there are certain specific country subgovernances is because there are certain countries whose cultures are so very deeply steeped in tradition. And I don't want to say Latvians aren't, that's not the point. But Latvia, first of all, the blockchain technology is quite developed in Latvia. I mean, our good friend Mitja is your neighbor, right? I mean, he'll tell you even more. He lives in Latvia,
Okay,
right? Sorry, Mitja, for outing you there, but you've said it publicly before. Singapore, for instance, right? Would there be a necessity to have a Singapore subgovernance for a country that's, probably ahead of many other countries in blockchain? So I find myself asking the question, what is the significance of a Latvian subgovernance that the Latvian community cannot right now do in the global governance? All of the things that I see, all of them you can do right now, today. You can run a contest, you can make a proposal, you can do lots of things right this minute without having a subgovernance. The difference between certain country subgovernances is because there are certain bridges that need to be built, right? So take the African subgovernance. We have John with us here. He can talk about that. We have Moon here from Korea. He can talk about certain cultural differences, certain approaches to how work is being conducted and done that are particular to that region. And that is why those specific governances were formed on their own and called that. We could actually, but technically we could have renamed them. It didn't necessarily have to be called the Korean subgovernance or the Mexico subgovernance or the China subgovernance. It could have been called just the Asian subgovernance or something. The reason being is there is a different mindset, there's a different approach to how things are executed that don't necessarily mimic what I think Latvia is already doing. You're a member of the EU. You have a strong Russian community. There will not be a Russian subgovernance, by the way. I mean, I can't see that happening because basically it already exists by its own very nature. Nor will there be a US subgovernance. For what? The US is the US. It's an animal onto its own, but there's a certain, I would say, understanding of cross-cultural barriers that aren't there. So why would the Latvian subgovernance need to be formed? That would be my question to you, because everything you've proposed, you can do now.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, this could be like done through the proposals to the global government. But okay, I'm a bit visionary as like most of the people that are connected now. Maybe I see like Freetown, like making like sub-governances. This would be like certain like international diplomacies from the different country for the different countries. So yeah, they kind of could.
Yeah, that's not what a subgovernance is. It's not about international diplomacy. Freetown is about international diplomacy. Freetown is about international. Yeah. It's about global everything. It's about everyone. It's not. It doesn't mean to separate. So when you see Mexico subgovernance, we're not separating Mexico from Freetown at all. What we're trying to do, what we're trying to do is actually incubate them into the subgovernance. This is just me speaking. I can let anybody here say a word when we get to Q&A. Of course, let's just leave that for question and answer. But I don't see that Latvia is somehow disconnected.
No, it's not. Maybe with languages, just because, yeah. But
oh, but you speak English, and I think most people speak either English, Russian, or Latvian. I mean, I can't imagine that you have a diaspora of people that simply have no access to English, right? I mean, that's not really an issue, is it?
Yeah,
or maybe it is. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, is there an issue in the Latvian community? Is there an issue with the English language or the Russian language or any other language that they can't communicate or something like that? I don't know. I've been to Latvia before. I had no problem. I spoke to everybody.
Yeah. It's not. It's like sooner or later, like okay, the Freetown will grow, and if taking a look about like who made the Freetown, okay, it's Pavel Durov, who is Russian. Then again, like Latvians are pretty like.
Can I just interject right there? Pavel Durov didn't make Freetown. Pavel Durov made.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. He made the big community large, like then he canceled. Then from all of this, like yeah, so not basically going into the pre-story, but like difference between Latvians and Russians, that kind of Latvians want to like just stick themselves back from the Russians. So at this point, there's maybe a chance to somehow, make a bigger commune, like Russians stop fighting with Latvians and Latvians stop fighting with Russians. Yeah, like let's do something together. Yeah, to grow the same like Latvian subgovernance. Yeah, we do speak English, the same Latvians, but the young people, yeah, at the age maybe of till 30. But if you go around, like the capital is Riga, yeah. If you go outside of the Riga, like in Riga, it's like 50-50, like 50 Russian speaking, 50 Latvian speaking. If you go outside the Riga, people don't understand Russian at all. Like with English, okay.
Guys, can I interject a little bit? I think we need to kind of allocate specific amount of time for each speaker, because it can go for hours and you can discuss it in the like couloirs. So let's. I mean, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks for
it was really great, and there is a way to discuss it on the forum. All these aspects, I think.
Agreed. Thank you, Edgar, very much.
Ron, sorry, very quick interjection. I think, Edgar, first of all, everybody's looking forward to your guys engaging. I think your case is somewhat similar to Africa. When they started, there were like only a few people and there was not kind of critical mass. I'm looking at your chat, there are like 11 people. It took, John would correct me, it took probably three to 4 months for African team to get some strengths and critical mass. And now it's a powerhouse. You know, they're doing hackathons, because the idea is not just to do website and translations. It doesn't bring direct value, it just brings awareness. The idea is that we have developers coming in and use cases with users coming in. That's the ultimate idea. And this whole thing that you have here is just a bridge, a short-term bridge to build awareness. So what I'm typically liking in all the subgovernances, it's not you, it's the same. It was the same with France, kind of same with China, is there's always kind of phase one that we do translations and stuff. And there is never a clue to phase two, like what would happen after and why developers would come, you know, why partners. So just give it a think. Let's continue on the forum. We'll help you like we did the African. By the way, I mean community, not me and Ron and Mitja. Let's make it, you know, ripping, you know, it's not ripe yet. If you see what I mean.
Just last thoughts. Thank you, Alexander. You kind of got my idea about creating the critical mass. So my plan is to create the critical mass in like those 3 months to give some shout out and visibility about what is Freetown. And then like in the summer, we have like a great opportunity to create a hackathon. We got connections with people who are already waiting, like my friend Mudrita, she's a driver, she's an owner of one of the biggest PR companies here. She created, like organized this hackathon, like from PR world, like Swedbank was invited, like one of the biggest banks of Latvia. The Service of Treasury was also connected. There's Ministry of Economics, and yeah, this can be done. But yeah, you have to like show yourself first that yeah, you have a commune, and then you can like hackathons and some great things. So yeah, thank you, Alexander, for my for your idea. So that's it.
And thank you, Edgar. And believe me, I appreciate your enthusiasm. You know, you show a lot of energy, and that's great. So I'm sure something will come out of this, something positive. Thank you very much. All right, I wanted to mention one thing that I actually forgot. Sorry, Moon. Your Korean tokens, they're going out as well with those with the next round of payments. So just so you're aware of that. And also. Yeah, absolutely. Also, since you're on with us, if you actually have the YouTube link, there's a few questions in YouTube that are in Korean, and I can't read them, or maybe they're comments. I don't know. If you can help me, that would be great. And with that in mind, when we get to YouTube, maybe just take a look. And with that in mind, I think we're done with presentations for today. So I think we can move to questions. So within our group, I think Ivan, you raised your hand at one point, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Turn my camera. Yeah, I have a question for Mitja. As far as I understood from your description of Rust Cup, so the competition will go as it go, and then there will be a winners, and the reward for winners will be a right to allocate some log stakes, and the reward is the vesting stakes on top of that log stakes they will allocate, right?
There will be log stake. It's not connected. Like there will be log stake, just a log stake, and then there will be a reward and the referral reward on top of the log stake. Okay, so there will be log stake which is locked for the validator, and then if someone wants to participate in the program, like investor outside wants to participate in the program, he stakes in this DPool, in the winner Rust Cup winner DPool, but it should lock his own stake for a period of time. Depends on how much he wants to gain.
Right. So the idea is to incentivize the validators to like promote free tone among.
There are many ideas.
Right?
There are many ideas. The part, as you said, yes, to promote, to validators to promote free tone, investors to invest in the Rust Cup winners DPools, investors to lock stakes for a longer period of time when they do that, and with a progressive participation. And of course, the validators are incentivized by the referral program from the investors' money that they get. And the investors are incentivized by the referral program that they get for the lock stakes.
Okay, and the next question is for the participants of the main governance. How do you think will this contest influence on the conditions of Magister Ludi rewards, or will these rewards will amended so will the conditions will change again and again, or this 24 months is a final condition?
18 months. I mean, it is final because once it will be deployed, I mean, nobody can do anything with that. So, yeah, Mitja, go ahead.
Well, you said it. once it's deployed, then that's it.
Okay, so the Magister Ludi winners is separate from Rust Cup, right?
Absolutely, no connection.
Okay. So there will be no influence on the rewards of Magister Ludi winners, right?
No.
Okay, and the third is just an advice for Edgar. So we had an experience in esports subgovernance, and the reason why we don't prolong this subgovernance and why we don't request the new tranche of tokens is that so we attracted a lot of users, and but the users is not really a thing, because the main priority for now is use cases. And if you will, so forgive me for this wording, but if you will just remove everything from your proposal and write thing that you will attract use cases, you will attract development companies, you will attract developers, and you will attract the people who can business development and attract partners, that will be a thing. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
And how?
Yeah, and how? Yeah.
Yeah. If I can tell, like one of my ex-clients is like one of the biggest hosting companies in Latvia. They work internationally, mostly with Russians, and my point is that in their payment system they already have bitcoins. So it wouldn't be hard me to contact
that's great.
them.
Just make a proposal for integration for this partner, and yeah. So so I understand that you want to to initiate some some driver in Latvia, and this partnerships is the key.
Yeah, for sure. Also,
yeah, maybe help define exactly what we mean by a user. It means they actually use the ton at some point on chain. That's
not those dead accounts. Yeah, of course. Like maybe if we could get like 1,000 accounts, yeah, I understand that only maybe 15 or 20% of them will be active. Yeah, that they will do something with their wallets. And yeah, about the proposals, like one of like our national airplane company, Air Baltic, they also kind of have the same Bitcoin system in their payments. So who knows? I don't know so big people, but I can at least try. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? That's the direction to go.
Yeah,
absolutely. Okay, what other questions do we have from the participants in the group here on the call? Really? Are we really gonna make it in an hour?
Yeah, I have one more.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I have one more for Mitja. The question is, will TonLabs team participate in breaking the test network, which will deploy it for the contest?
Rustnet, you mean?
Yep.
What do you mean by participating?
Like I remember the times when some games were broken by TonLabs developers, and I remember the time when DevNet was broken by TonLabs developers, and I just asking, just wondering.
Of course, we have a full suite of smart contracts now.
Nice, nice.
Of course.
I highly anticipate.
What else? I mean.
I highly anticipate the networks to be broken.
Please go ahead. Oh, sorry. I said that while I was on mute. Oh, sorry. Please go ahead. Sorry, Alex. Yeah, go.
Actually, I have 3 questions for Mitja and 2 questions to Ron. Could I start with Mitja, please?
Sure.
Mitja, actually, last meeting you promised to make DeBot who will accept questions only if they have some crystals behind them.
Sorry, again? Crystals behind them.
Meeting yeah.
It was hard to it was hard to hear you. Yeah, it was really hard to hear you.
Oh, sorry. So last meeting you promised to make DeBot who will accept questions only if they are supported or by some crystals for some crystals. They have
I
some
didn't
crystals
say I
behind
will
them.
not do it for the next meeting. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. No,
Mitja.
that's
Actually, you did.
yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
yesterday I re-listened the meeting and you did promise it.
Yeah, we're too busy. Sorry, really too busy. But that was
What do
partly
you
a
think
joke.
Good
about
call, Alex. Good calling them out.
Partly a joke. Yeah. Because
what do you think
I
about
think we will not have any questions. I think we need to bring it to surf before we do something like that. Otherwise, with the TonLabs
we could
CLI, I mean, we will not get any questions, I think.
That's right.
maybe we could make some contest for this.
Yeah. Please do.
Okay. Next, actually about Rustnet on dev network. When are you planning to give crystals or Rubins, Rust Rubins for this network? Because
Yeah.
most of us have nodes and nodes are synchronized and we are waiting for
I know.
Rubin.
I know. You will probably have to resynchronize the nodes because we're going to probably restart the network again because there are some changes which are easier to just apply restarting the network than to apply. And that probably will happen tomorrow. And once we do, then we will distribute the tokens. We're not distributing tokens for the single reason that there was some, we're testing all the time, high-load tests, and there are issues which are discovered. And there was one issue which already been discovered on the Rustnet by someone, which has been fixed. But and by the way, thank you. And we will have a bug bounty, and your name is written in my notebook. So yeah. So that has been fixed, and some other issues have been fixed, a lot of them actually. So yeah, so we're waiting just for the restart.
Okay, and the third question that will lead us to the questions to Ron. Regarding contract code that we are using in the blockchain right now, I spoke with Boris and we have some long discussion yesterday yesterday I think. And Boris told me that TonLabs have a strict policy to not discover the sources of the contract which are in the blockchain right now. And I was very surprised because if the contracts are in the blockchain, they are actually, it looks like they are public available, and we can see the source code only because we don't have the compiler right now. After a couple of months or maybe 4 months, we will have the compiler and we will have the source code of every contract.
That's I don't know what. Listen, I don't know what Boris told you or not told you. The point is, we don't want to invest in further development of any of these smart contracts because there are contests, and one of them, as you know, is finished, and judges are looking into that right now for DGO for the SMV part, and there will be another contest soon, which will be the second part for this. And this contest will gonna replace all the existing contracts for contest contracts. And one of the reasons we're not releasing the code is that we don't want to influence the design and the participation of the contests in this the same, because they will be the same contracts, more or less. Not
I have
same,
the spot if you want, Alex, but I will not give you it.
But yeah, but I'm sure that the good minds of Freeton will know how to get the code anyway. And yes, you can disassemble as well. What's holding you?
My question is, I am not like asking to invent something in this, but if we have this code in the blockchain already, why are you hiding it? Just publish it and say
It's bad. It's bad.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are not good. The
This is
contest
not
finished.
no,
So
Alex. Let me stop you. You don't need to convince me to publish something. First of all, this was done by as a side hobby project. It's not a TonLabs code,
Right.
per se. It didn't pass any TonLabs internal processes, and you can compare the code of TonLabs, which did pass and did not. I mean, there is a striking difference between them.
but we are using it now.
Yes, you are using it now, and unfortunately, you are using this now. You are almost making me regret you're using it now. Like, probably, like, we shouldn't have been doing that. And you can write your own contract and use it instead. So that's like not the point. The point is the correct contracts need to be used with the correct processes, and the correct processes and the correct contracts are being developed right now under DGO subgovernance. Please join and contribute.
Man, I just made this code private. Just now I made it private. So Alex, you had a chance and you haven't it now.
Yes, guys. Actually, there is an open source contract amended by Boris, which was cleaned up and which is, where Boris fixed all problems which were pointed out to him before. So there is another contract, and the problem is that it's not used at the moment. But I know people who would like to help with that, and they will start using new contest contracts. So, since there is, again, open source contest contract exists, so then, really you can start from it.
It lacks deployer contract. It's like
no, guys, you are not getting my point. I'm saying that we are using this contract right now.
So stop using it. Stop using it. To use another one.
It's not the right answer. It's saying like stop doing any contest. Well, you just want to. You just started a number of contests.
Good idea.
Yes. So then, should we stop this PR contest you proposed, another contest which you proposed? Then
maybe we should just all. Rolling the sleeves. Who said half a year? If we all rolling the sleeves, it will be exactly in the same time as the first system.
I said half a year. Let's put that way.
Yeah, but did it take half a year to create the first contest contract? No. So why shouldn't take another half a year to create another one?
Because it's not about creating contracts.
It is about creating contracts.
No.
Okay.
It's about formal verification.
No, that has nothing to do. You're not using formal verified contract right now.
No.
The problem is,
guys, get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready.
Okay. It's not about the question. The question is it's not fair to hide something that we are using. If we are using this contract before in the current context, we should know how it works.
It's don't use it. Use another one, which is an open source.
Yep, it lacks deployer. It lacks deployer.
Write the deployer. Yeah. What stops you? Write the deployer.
Actually,
that's easy one.
Yes, this one is simple. This one is simple. Let's agree with Mitja. But still, Mitja, you know my position, so I think that is not right decision. So I agree that community should support contests process as well. It should not be as only TonLabs doing it. Actually, it's not TonLabs doing it. It's one member of community doing it. Let's put that way. So
exactly.
It's better that contest process will be supported not by one member of community, but several members of community.
Who stops the community to support it?
Yes. So in that respect, I agree. But still, I disagree with the fact that we are in that position. But we are in this position because you believe that we should focus on future interface.
It's not me. It's I think about 300 comments of members on the forum.
Let's agree on the one thing. There is current governance interface team and it gets paid for deploying old contracts. Why don't remove it?
I fully agree. It wastes my return. Zhenya Makarova, if you hear us, please stop doing what you're doing.
No,
all the members of the community
stop doing what you're doing. Don't, please.
That's an order.
It's direct order.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Mitja's kidding.
Anyway,
Mitja's
guys,
kidding. We'll kill him. Don't worry.
Anyway, I mean, I don't see Vlad on the call today, but he promised to take that prominent responsibility. And Ivan, if you can help him, it's not a complex thing to use that new
Hey,
content.
guys, it is complex because I would say because it needs another front end.
No, it's
Yes.
not another. It's just
It has
modify.
another ABI. It has another ABI. It needs to rewrite the front end. So please release a front end open source, and then you can say that it's fully community driven thing. But now front end is closed source, so that we can't amend current front end governance interface. We need to rewrite for our own. And
we need to rewrite. And by the way, we'll have a call with that on that with.
Yeah.
So we need to write.
Let's make it on a separate call, guys.
Let's
move on.
Exactly doing this contest for rewriting the governance interface. What call? What call again?
Let's move on, guys, because
at least Mitja, the call yesterday that you just didn't came on.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next question. Alex, you had a question for me.
Yes. This question was lead us to the question to Ron, because every time like we are arguing with Ron, Ron is saying something, and as an argument he gave us, look at the contract, look at the contract, look at the contract, and nobody's seen the contract because it's closed source.
Look.
Because
Can we move on, please?
No, it's other questions for Ron about.
It's a question for Ron, but
rejection.
Look at on the contract. I mean, first of all, I don't think that it's the right answer, but still, look at the contract. I mean, I think that Ron meant look. You can take data from the contract.
Let Ron answer. Let Ron answer. Okay, so it's real simple. Okay, it's real simple. Well, pose your question so that everybody can hear the question, and then I'll answer it. Because
the question is that, for example, in some governance, there are other rules for payments.
Not rules, but procedures, sure.
Procedures, agreements for payments. For example, for DeFi subgovernances, they decided to pay only in case if submissions got more than 50% plus one votes for it. So if submission has different marks and number of this mark is more than half from all voting jury members, then this submission is participating in prize nomination. If it is not, then it is not. And the same case happened in DevEx submission when we have DevEx subgovernance, when we have a submission with two votes on, 2 marks, one abstain and one reject, and also most of the participants at governance, they just didn't want to pay for such submissions because it was rejected by nobody admits that it's a good submissions, and Ron argued that it is not like good.
I'll help with that. So I think what Alex is saying is that right now, the way that global governance votes, and this is based on a proposal that was passed back on September 14th. It's on the blockchain. It's on the governance site. Is that whenever there's a vote that takes place for, say, a contest, the premise is that if there are rejections to any particular submission, in order for a submission to become rejected, it requires 50% plus one vote from those jurors who actually participate in voting in order to reject it. The approach that the DeFi subgovernance wants to take, and this is perfectly fine, is that they would prefer to have 50% plus one vote to accept rather than to reject. In other words, there was a specific situation where there was a person who made a submission and there were exactly 4 votes. 2 votes got a score, 2 were to reject. And the decision was made to reject, or excuse me, yes, to reject the part of the DeFi subgovernance. Let me finish. Whoever wants to speak, you can speak in a minute. So here's the problem, Alex. You didn't decide this, okay? That's the issue. The DeFi subgovernance did not make a proposal. And we spoke at length with some of the members of DeFi last night, okay? There is no proposal that I can see on chain where such a proposal was made and such a vote was cast and a decision was presented. What you had was a chat with a bunch of people that said, yeah, that's a good idea. And it was left there. And by virtue, there is no execution of this idea. So now put yourself in the position of the contestant who doesn't know that you decided this, and you can't actually even point that person to a proposal that was accepted for this. And by virtue, you have lost money because of this. You haven't been paid because of this. You are right. Every subgovernance has the right to make its own decisions, but they have to follow the decentralized procedure, which is A, propose it, B, vote for it, and only then does it become implemented. That's my argument.
I agree with you.
Alex?
So what exactly we should use other contract, or we should just publish? It's enough to publish the.
Well, look, I mean, in this case, and I understand, look, nobody likes substandard submissions, least of all I. I understand that the submissions might have been questionable. I don't stick my nose in DeFi's business because that's not my business. But I do stick my nose in when the procedure is not transparent and clear, right? So who decided? You decided in the chats and that's it? That's not, it never got put to a vote. If I were the person who submitted it and my submission was a piece of shit, which it could have been, but I followed the protocols that were laid out before me, I would feel bad, to say the least, that I had not been compensated.
I think that you just vote for, it's not about contract, it's already there, so already executed, calculated results. It's not about contract. You have decision now and you can make it, no problem with that. So decision with a proposal. It's very simple. It's happened several times before. Yeah, it happened several times before. I mean, in SMM where there were some problems with voting, members decided to calculate it in another way because I mean there were good reasons for that. So there was happened several times. Once we have separate contest, calculation, and payment, there is room for that. Once it will be all in one system, then there will be no that possibility. So once you have the possibility, you can use it. And that's a good training actually for everyone. So we see now that what is like a good approach, what is bad approach, it's all training.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't, I mean, I was arguing with you a little bit, but I wasn't trying to, I wasn't trying to embarrass you. What I was trying to say is that there's a process and it wasn't followed. So now make that proposal, because look, if the community if the subgovernance thinks that the proposal was bad, then it shouldn't pass. But you didn't have a mechanism for it. You just had a discussion about it, and that's not enough. That's all. That was my point.
Okay, got it. So I'm sure that it was stated in subgovernance declaration, but I will recheck it, and if it is not, we will make a proposal and vote.
It was checked. Yeah, we talked about it last night. They checked it. It's not in there. Or the other approach could have been to actually make it a requirement in the contest. That's another way. But of course, then you have to do it every time. It's repetitive. It's easier to just pass a proposal. So that's it.
Yeah,
So
so
I
it-
understand your frustration. I do. But I'm being like a robot, right? I'm being objective. I'm not taking sides. I'm saying that based on what you have at this moment, there was not a blockchain on-chain based basis to reject it. That's all. So
Okay, got it. And
fix it.
actually, you answered my next question, because I wanted to ask that in a new contest that we are preparing, we want to add additional requirements for the contest and put it to the contest description. So works with average score less than, for example, 3 points are excluded from prize nomination. And as soon as it will be in a contest declaration, it will be completely official, and you will not have any arguments against this, right?
Right. Okay. Next question. Darkwing Duck. Oh, I'm sorry. Darkwing Duck.
Yes. Hi. My
I'm
name
used
is
to the
Alex.
cartoon Darkwing Duck. So sorry.
Yes. It's okay. So it's not question. I also was in this situation with my proposal, but it's not about this. I strongly believe that all subgovernments maybe should be guided by one rule. I mean, it's something like codex for all subgovernments. This question is the one which I and which our team is on. But what do you think about it? That the rules of judging and rules of participating in contests should be one for all subgovernments.
Well,
I think
then you don't
be
need
better.
subgovernance at all.
Ivan, can you raise your hand before?
Sorry.
Okay.
Is that question for me or everybody?
Maybe for everybody.
Ivan, do you want to try to answer that? But please be short.
Sorry. I don't agree to this statement, because then you don't need to have any subgovernance at all.
Here's my answer to that. Here's my answer to that. The question about governance, and especially decentralized governance, and why most times in history it has not worked, is because it's not scalable. So what you have described, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is centralized governance, right? So you just described government.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I also don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
It's a different. They're different approach. So you can.
If it hold
there
on.
should be some flexibility
until it's automated. Until it's automated. That's the difference.
I totally agree, by the way, that we need one protocol which rules all the governances in Friton. And the protocol has protocol rules by definition. Yeah, they have protocol rules, but these rules are, it depends on what you mean by the rules. I mean,
yeah,
if it means the rules of the protocol, I totally agree. And that's what the governance 2.0 is about to hopefully
That's
achieve.
right, but it needs to support the tweakable things.
The protocol, but I mean, it's like
so if I was allowed to,
wait, Ron.
If I was allowed to finish,
please clarify. Yeah.
Once it's automated, which is what governance 2.0 is, then all of these issues and all of these questions are solved, because basically everything is based on voting via tokens and so on and so forth. At the moment, however, because we're dealing with manual, to some extent, fixes within each subgovernance, that's impossible, because we are dealing with different, there is no automated system at the moment. At the moment, it's whatever each subgovernance feels is the right way to go. And they have the ability to make that decision by making a proposal. And if the proposal passes, whatever that proposal might be, there's no way to interject in that process except by community involvement and discussion. So until it's automated, all of these conversations are sort of arbitrary to some extent. So right now, any subgovernance can make its own rules. We just talked about that with Alex, right? They can do it the way that they see fit. Once the system goes G2.0, then there will be a lot of changes and a lot of, and actually there will be no way to make changes. You will have to follow the process, which is completely driven by automation. Am I correct?
No. No, because because we already have subgovernance, and if DGO group will develop its like a framework, the question is who will adopt it, and only those who will adopt it will follow it. But there is possibility that some subgovernance, or there will be a new subgovernance which will create or fork this system and will follow its own governance rules.
Or that.
Yeah, this is possible. This is possible. If but then they will have to convince community, which will vote with their tokens, to send some portion of tokens to them. That's, I mean, if there will be another governance system, then the first governance system should be convinced to fund the second governance system. I have no problem with that at all. I'm just saying that this is the only limiting factor.
Yeah.
If there will be another rules, no problem. If, I mean, for some reason, for experiment reason or for whatever reason, the first governance system, let's put that way, will decide to. And actually, I think that's what we will do. I mean, I think that what we will, because we will. I mean, I personally think that we should test it with some real. Like all real in production stories. So, but in order to limit risks, we will agree to send some portion of givers to the second implementation of the governance, and then we'll see how it goes to test what problems it will have. So, there could be third or fourth version of governance system. I mean, if there isn't for that, no problem for that.
Yeah, by the way, will main governance will follow the rules of governance 2.0, or will it remain the same rules that they?
Oh, of course.
No, yeah, it's for everybody. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What do you mean follow? There is no follow.
No. Will they vote to adopt this system? Because for now, this framework.
They'd do it yesterday if it was ready.
For now, this framework will work within DGO subgovernance.
No, not at all. I mean, it could work with them everywhere. The difference between say main or say global and subgov, actually there is some difference, but it's logical difference. It's not. When you're talking about global, it's very reasonable that you vote with tokens, because this is the only merit. I mean, you cannot. There are no other, I would say, criteria to whom you include or not include in that group. And for subgov, there is some criteria that group of people can internally decide what kind of people they would like to invite, because that subgovernance is devoted to some topic, and that there could be consensus. And as we've talked many times, if there are no consensus in one group, then they can create two subgovernance, and that's exactly what we saw with ambassadors split up, and we have now two subgovernances. So, but for global, it doesn't make sense. For global, they should vote with tokens, and this is very, say, important, and it is so it should be formally verified. So blah blah blah. So that the contract, we should take a lot of effort in audit and
well, actually the formal verification of tip 3, which is basic for all of that, has been started, as you know, and there was a first part of the contest, and actually the contract is quite simple. It's in a good way. So we do not expect the formal verification of SMV taking too much time.
Yeah, Mitja, but it's not only about SMV, it's about multi-ballot, it's about the whole system.
SMV multi-ballot I'm talking, because they are very modular, very small, compact contracts. and we do not expect problems with the verification. It's not DPool, which is one of the most complicated smart contracts ever existed.
So Darkwing Dark Duck, does that answer your question?
Yes, and one commentary, it's when we say about subgovernances, I mean that we have some structure, like, for example, we have main subgovernance and then subgovernments, and maybe subgovernance has its own
Yes,
subgovernances.
absolutely.
For example, you talk. That's the reason I talk about it because you say not you say about ambassador and subgovernments. They can also, for example, ambassador subgovernments and then influence and global com. For example, they can have this structure, and I think that. For example, if we have main and subgovernments and they have subgovernances, if, for example, main subgovernments create, for example, some kind of rule, yes, it's a bit centralized, but it's not like
no rules.
Not
no
rules. No rules.
rules.
I mean
guidelines.
What? Yes.
Suggestions.
Suggestions, yes, proposed suggestions. So other subgovernments can use these suggestions in their work and so on. From
Absolutely. You actually just described another way that I try to describe with my city analogies and my whatever other analogies and metaphors. That is governance scalability. Exactly what you're talking about.
That's what I really mean. Maybe with this description, it's more clearly.
That's right. That's absolutely accurate. Yes, and that's exactly what we're trying to achieve. Right. The problems we run into naturally is that not every subgovernance is necessarily productive, and I think that's just nature. Right. You're going to have that happen, and so adjustments have to be made. But yes. That you described it perfectly, no question about it. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any more questions from the call group here in Zoom? If not, there's only a couple of questions, one or two on YouTube and one that was written in. So if anybody wants to speak, go ahead. If not,
simple question. Mitja, when Mitja or participants of DIGO, if you are here, when do you plan to launch a visual design contest for SMV system?
There will. What do you mean visual design?
Yeah, following the
front end. You mean?
Yeah, front end.
Yeah, the front end. Beginning of February should start. I think we will start hopefully the second part of the contracts. Like I want to publish it this week, and next week started.
Will it include only visual part, or will it include
smart contracts?
JavaScript?
Smart contracts first.
No, the smart contracts is
and DeBots, obviously.
DeBots are already written as far
for
as
the SMV.
For SMV, right?
But it's not enough. You need also a contest and jury system.
And
the contest and jury system will
but following the call, the roadmap was having a first part of backend, then some front end part, and then the second part of backend. So
no, I think we're changing it. We're changing it. We want whole system with smart contracts in parallel, because we basically want by the end of February to start using the system. And I know several teams who are working on that already.
Okay. So the smart contracts will be finished during the second contest, and then the contest for front end will start.
No, it will start in parallel, but with some lag.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So if you want to participate, you are more than welcome.
Okay. In the interest of speeding things along, we have one question on YouTube, which is Two, actually. One is, so does it turn out that the winners of the conducted web and design subgovernance contests will not receive their rewards? Is Nikita still here? Or did he leave?
Sort of what?
All
contest?
rewards have been sent already.
There you go. All rewards sent already.
When?
Yeah, when?
Before New Year
No.
and after.
Are you sure about that?
No, it wasn't.
Cards and video contests. There was only 2 contests.
Not correct.
You sure?
Not correct. There were
Regarding
many
the
contests.
video,
There
regarding
were.
the web
There were
design.
only 2 contests. There were only 2 contests.
Yes.
Where? In subgovernance?
In
Yes.
subgovernance.
in
Yes,
subgovernance,
weapon
yeah.
design.
Ah,
WD, yeah.
Or are you talking about different contests?
yeah, no, that's fine. If it's
No.
subgovernance.
He's
I'm
talking
talking about
about
global contests.
No, not global. No,
Web
web and
and design.
design. Web and design
Okay,
only.
got it. Sorry.
All tokens have been sent to winners. Okay, and they're asking you, Ivan, why you turned into a dot. Okay, that's not a great question. All right, we have one more question that was written into us, and I'm sure I know who from. So, what is the trend that has been started with the dissemination of personal data on the forum? I don't know how it works in other countries, but in Russia, this is a violation of law number 152-FZ on the collection and distribution of personal data.
May I add?
None of our servers are in Russia, thanks God.
Yeah.
There is no any.
Can I finish the
private
question?
data.
Can I finish the question, please? They I don't know who they are, hide behind the fact that the data was taken from public sources. In public sources, they are for introduction, not for collection and distribution. The moderators are dormant. Okay, let me take the first part of this and say that the moderators are not responsible for anything, the community is. So moderators moderate, they don't make any decisions. I don't know about the laws in Russia. I have no idea. And when you refer to private data, private information, as far as I understand, I know who's asking this question, and I know who's asking this question, and I know what this person is referring to, and that would be the references to said individuals, links to said individuals' social media pages and private address, home address. I have no idea what the laws are. I can say my personal point of view is this is very unethical behavior. I don't like that either. I'm not a fan of it. I think there's a word for it called doxing someone, and that should never be a part of Free Ton. That's what I think. But I can tell you what U.S. laws, which I think everybody pretty much shits on, and good for them, it would not be considered public information or private information. It would be considered part of the public domain. But I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Maybe somebody else can.
May I add a couple cents?
Yeah.
Regarding the private data, there is no any private data. If you post that somewhere in any social media, you made that public. It's the first. Secondly, moderators, they won't delete anything because they delete only spam, not posts on the forum. That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Roman. And that's correct. Yeah, I mean, I think relying on moderators to make decisions is not, that's not what the community's about. It's if you have something, make a proposal. Let it be discussed. Let it go to a vote. If it goes to a vote and the vote is passed, then it'll be removed. I mean, that's the only way to do it. But again, I'm just speaking for me. Of course, it's I think it's unpleasant. I think it's very unpleasant. What can I say? Who would like that to happen? But it's one of the it's one of the things that we have to deal with. So I hope that question was answered. If nobody else has anything, I think we're done. I was sure we're going to make it under an hour today. I was just absolutely sure, but you know what? The more discussion, the more interesting it gets. And I noticed that of the participants that were here, most of them are still here. So I guess this interests everybody. So unless somebody has one more thing to say, we're going to do our usual countdown.
Nothing else on YouTube?
Nope.
Great.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and we will see you next week. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of this. We love you all. Have a good day and a great week.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.